Well, we're moving to the next slide. The reason QuickBooks or other hands-on software, we're keying in the information. And it's just time expensive, time consumption. Maybe a little bit more expensive. What we like about it is the aspect that we have auto deposit of taxes to avoid the trap of getting behind on federal taxes. Local bookkeepers, there has been all too many instances, unfortunately, of bookkeepers unable to have the time when we're available. This slide is highly recommended. There's many providers out there, and picture yourself in a field, and you got to pay the workers. You can call in just the hours and the names. The payroll processing company will do the automatic deposit or send you the checks to give to your employees. Complete segregation of duties in that you're in control of your money. They're doing the processing for you. You're in control of approval of the expenditures by calling in the hours. The thing about a third-party processor is they're going to be current with the regulations, changes at the federal or state level with unemployment, labor and industries here in Washington, FICA, FUTA, Medicare. Most often, 99% of the time, these third parties can do electronic file transfer. You can download a file that likely you can upload into your accounting system. So once you're set up and a phone call every 2 weeks, you're done with having to work through the payroll system. This is very secure, minimizes disruption, and would recommend take a look at this as it can be the most effective use of time and the highest controls. Next, please.
Sorry, John. There.
That's okay. Now, here is the segregation of duties. And these 3 words, authorization, keeping the records in custody. And this is how we prevent problems. A good example is having one person billing the customers and then also collecting the cash. Assume it's an employee doing so. Well, that person could misbill a customer or take the cash and say the customer didn't pay. And we may or may not be able to recognize that quickly. Whereas if we break up the billing of the customer with who's receiving the cash, we have now broken their ability to compromise our operations. Payroll checks we spoke about. The fraud professionals recommend that you think evil about your operation. How could I steal from myself and go undetected, and then work on something to break that up? Next, please, Cinda. Now, here again, these are conceptuals moving very quickly, and happy to answer questions down the road. If we can't maintain good segregation of duties, break up those 3 items, there's what's called mitigating controls. Especially if you're a small operation, have 1 or 2 employees. If we, the managers of the owners that are in tune with the production cycle, review production reports, time cards, say we're on a trip at the market and we have people back at the farm, get an end-of-the-day debrief so you have a picture in your mind of how much cash should be coming in. Check the bank account. Picture's correct, great. Picture's not correct, we have some questions to ask. Another mitigating control is reconciliation, bank statements, sales receipts, any kind of expenditures. Is, should we have used this much fertilizer this month? Should we have been using this much fuel? Yes, done deal. No, time to ask some questions. Next slide, please. This is an important concept about fraud prevention, and we all hate to use the fraud word, but it can be viewed as a matter of keeping honest people honest, and by reducing the opportunity for somebody to commit theft or fraud. As fraud is a personal tragedy, if somebody gets caught stealing, their family life is destroyed, their ability to get jobs, there may be jail time, expenses with lawyers. We need to protect our employees from that tragedy and watch our fraud triangle. Reducing the opportunities, so in case an employee gets a need, whether it be large medical bills or a gambling problem or whatever, that they don't have the opportunity is not presented to them to be tempting. Fraud prevention, we've discussed segregation of duties, mitigating controls, and one of the best tools is your gut feel. If your gut's saying something's not right, it's time to ask some questions and take a look around. Next slide, please. Now, so with that aside, our computers, and we strongly recommend encryption of personal and employee data. We've got the employee Social Security numbers. We have fiduciary responsibility to keep that from getting taken. And we all live in a rural area, and nobody's going to come into our house and take our laptop or our computer, but the risk is there. So WinZip is a software tool, if you're unfamiliar with it. Pretty easy to use, pretty bulletproof. You zip things up, personal employee data, and even if somebody takes your computer, whether it be a laptop or a desktop, they're going to be challenged to access that information. Next one, 32% of small businesses do not recover from Survivor data loss, largely due to the time it takes to recover the data. And so if you lose all your information and have to recreate payroll, et cetera, it's taking you away from operations to do so, and that's why a great number fail. ScanDisk is one tool on that slide. There's many types of encrypted backups. Strongly recommend take a backup of your data, even print out your data, and get it off-site. A thumb drive in your glove box, at least it's in the car outside the house. If there was some unfortunate event, whether it be raining trees or other disasters, we at least can get our data and be back on the road real quick. The online threat is huge, and it's growing every day. Here's some well-known antivirus. Most likely everybody uses one. If not, strongly recommend it. And a quick tool is SpyBot Search and Destroy. It's free. And if you see your computer slowing down at all, you can get another computer, download SpyBot Search and Destroy, run it on your computer that's slowing down, and there's probably a good chance you've got a Trojan or a Win32 virus. You can get rid of it. On contract, pardon me?
Need to wind it up here.
Okay.
Just a time check.
Thank you. Last slide is self-explanatory. On contracts, there's no guarantee that there will be acceptance and payment. For those of you who are maybe thinking about moving from a CSA to wholesale retail, something to consider, and thank you for your time.
Oh, that was a quick wrap up. John has a lot of good information here, and he's very graciously said that he would, answer questions via his email. Don't have his phone on here, but if you go to Week 9 discussion forum, you can contact him. And also, when we get to the questions section, John, please be available for questions at that time. And that's coming up in just a little bit. So thank you so much, John. Sorry to cut you off.
No, thank you very much.